My name's Rick Fisher. I am a realtor and latex mask maker from Akron, Ohio. As a child, I always gravitated towards horror, gore, the macabre, science fiction. I was definitely more of a horror fan than science fiction, but strangely enough, The Planet of the Apes was a huge fascination for me. Music has always been a big influence on me, and that is pretty evident in my artwork today. I've always gained strength and influence from music and lyrics, and it really helps me along in the creative process with mask making. Occasionally I'll get stumped and I just can't make the right decisions, and I find myself getting a little frustrated, and then I just I change the tunes, and for some reason I'm able to then approach the sculpture in a different way, and it typically works itself out. So so music really helps me a lot in my artwork. In my late teens, I started a band with some guys from my neighborhood, and at that time there wasn't an internet, so any way to get your music out to the public was through tape traders and fanzines. So we made our own demo, self-financed, and we got it out there, and we started getting in the rotation with different fanzines and doing interviews, and a record label / fanzine in Montebello, California heard our demo and wrote a review saying that it was one of the best demos that they had heard the year, and they liked the professionalism and the way that we recorded it. Shortly thereafter, he called me up and we signed a licensing deal, and we put the show on the road. We basically sold everything we owned and bought an old school bus, ripped out all the seats, and built an apartment inside of it, and went out and did it on our own. We didn't have any kind of a booking agent. Well, we did for a minute, but he sucked. But I basically booked the tours, and we lived it for about 7 years. We traveled in that bus, and we set up shop in New York and St. Louis and Texas. We pretty much played every dump that you could imagine from coast to coast, and did it DIY, punk rock, just like how I do my mask business. And I think it's beneficial when you don't have to rely on somebody else. People will let you down. And if you're doing it yourself, then you have no one to blame but the guy looking back at you in the mirror. I originally got involved in latex mask making about 13 years ago. I was living in Austin, Texas, and I took a quick course on special effects, or focused on latex mask making. And I ended up kind of hitting it off with the instructor, so we hung out a little bit, and I learned a little bit more hanging out at her studio. And when that all ended, unfortunately I lost all of my molds, and my artwork was pretty much destroyed. So I moved back to Ohio and found out that there was a latex mask making materials distributor in Cleveland. So I went up there and bought a kit and started making masks. I love what I do for a living, and I feel like I'm pretty successful at it. But at the same time, it'd be great to really be able to see what it would be like to completely support myself and work 100% in the arts, and really be able to dedicate 100% of my time to my craft, and learning more, and growing in the special effects industry, and growing my mask business, and becoming a better sculptor, and working more efficiently, and just learning from the people who have done it and have a lot more experience than I do, which kind of leads me into why I think it would be a great experience to be on this show. I think just surrounding myself with all these new people of all different skill sets, and all different age groups, and all different walks of life,